Welcome back to Wilson's Reviews, and tonight I was supposed to review 50 Shades of Grey, but unfortunately we're going to have to push that one back till next week and now I'm going to have to go rent it. So, because I'm not buying it, I don't really want to buy that film or own that film, so I'd rather rent it, and then, plus in that way I don't lose any money on that film. So anyway, I decided to redo a review, which I will be doing this with a few of the films I have already reviewed, but I'll be redoing them with editing and also just the new camera and the quality, and that way it will be able to go on YouTube and it will look like. I'll do an old favourite, Scarface. An excellent made film starring Al Pacino, directed by Brian De Palma and Michelle Pfeiffer, along with Stephen Bauer, who plays Manny, Robert Loggia, plays Frank Lopez, Mary Elizabeth Mastroenia, who plays Gina Montana, and Paul Shano, who plays Alejandro Sosa, who turns out to be a big drug boss, if you're not sure of the name. But this film, guys, was released in 1983, and it was the start of I guess you could say it was the start and the inspiration for a lot of the mob films and crime films to this day. A lot of these films, this film actually was praised by Martin Scorsese, who said this film was excellent. So, what is the film about, though? The film is about Al Pacino, Tony Montana, and his friend Manny are in this refugee camp. I'm not sure whereabouts it is. I kind of was a little bit lost on where it was. But what happens is that while they're in there, they have a deal made for them that they can be released with green cards if they knock off one dude that's in the refugee camp. So they do that, and they end up out of there in Miami, washing dishes. And it's where they wanted to go. They wanted to go to Miami, where all the women were. But Al Pacino is not satisfied with his position and wants to become big in Miami. So he teamed up with this guy called Frank Lopez, and he does jobs for him, and eventually grows to overtake his business and like his drug empire. So it is a excellent film, in my opinion. The way Al Pacino just acts is just the seller for this film. His acting ability is excellent. His face when he's like just like in anger, or when he's getting angry, and that intense music in the background, that means he's just building up this anger, to this other part where he's like just in fear that he possibly is gonna watch somebody die, or gonna die, and then other scenes where he's just going ape shit on people, which is excellent, in my opinion. No regrets on seeing any of that stuff. He's just awesome actor in that regard. It is an excellent mob film. It is kind of like a mob film, but it kind of feels like a gangster film as well. It's a bit mobbish, but it does have a bit of a gangster feel to it, so you gotta respect it for that. So this film, guys, everything, the practical effects are excellent. The music is excellent. It's old school. You can feel that old school vibe when they're traveling in Miami in a Cadillac that has the roof off. The roof up, so you can it's like a convertible pretty much. Just that vibe and the feel of like it's in 1980s. And these guys are Cuban refugees, and they're trying to build their own legacy and build their own empire. And yeah, man, like it's an excellent story. It draws you into like how it shows you that you can be as poor as fuck to rich as fuck, and he proved that he could do that. He had to screw a few people over, but those people wanted to screw him over as well in the proceeds, and then it just shows you, man, that cocaine is a hell of a drug, and it fucks you up. Well, in film, regardless. Anyways, every time, I swear to God, in mob films, I see guys who just touch cocaine once and they just fuck up. They just literally, their lives are done. Their careers are over. But Tony Montana, man, just the character. And when the way he is so passionate about his family, how he loves his sister Gina, but every time, like, but then it just shows you how he loves her so much. But then his friend Manny, who makes a joke, like, you know, maybe I could date your sister. And then he's like, gets all, like, really angry, like, just snaps. He's like, don't you ever touch my sister, man. She's not good for you. He's like, whoa, Jesus, I'm just joking, really. Which, you'll find out later in the film, kind of wasn't joking. And stuff happens between. It's a hectic film, guys. Like, the other actors that play their parts, like Paul Shenar, is an excellent drug lord. He's like the main guy, like that gives Tony Montana this power because he supports Tony, and then Tony and him do business together. But then, like, as you see, he gives him one warning. He's like, he goes, I only tell you one time, Tony. Don't fuck with me. Did you ever fuck with me? You understand that? Okay? And you just kind of know, you fuck with this dude, he's gonna kill you. And, likewise, it happens. But the action scene in the ending part of the film is excellent. Even just certain scenes, man, where it is just hilariously funny. Because you just see, like, I'll spoil one part of the film. There's a scene where Tony's just sitting in the back of this, like, an office chair like this, and he's just like slouched down, just looking really like pitiful about himself, and then he just drops his head into a big pile of coke. Just hilarious. Well, one, because you know it's not real, and two, it's just like he's just kind of out of it, and he's like puts his head in. You just hear the noise of him just snorting all this coke. And then he gets back up like, okay, I'm good. And then, like, he's crazy, man. Like, the character of Tony Montana, he's just the character. You just like him, but you also hate him as well because he's kind of a bit like of a dick at times. Like, he treats his wife like a bitch, and, like, you know, he just treats her like she's made of nothing. And she's like, yeah, he goes, yeah, you do drugs. You're a bad woman and all this stuff. You can't even give me a baby because your womb is so filled with drugs. And then it's like you see this dude's doing drugs himself and he's fucked up on drugs, and it's just crazy. The film, man, is just hectic. Everything, the practical effects that they use, just some of the killing scenes that they do, and some of the epic scenes where Tony confronts Frank, and all these other things that happen, and it's just great. I loved it. Excellent film in my opinion. The music is great, the action is great, the cast are great, the story is great. The probably only negative thing I could actually hit with this film is that it might have been better to possibly give us a backstory into Tony a little bit more, just explaining, hey, like, why is he like this? Like, you know, did he have a shitty ass dad who treated him like shit? Or maybe just like a little, like, a few flashbacks might have been nice. Just not much, but then again, like I said, very, very minor. I wouldn't even take it away from a point off of it, just from the film itself. The film is excellent. It deserves a 9 out of 10. Full stop, guys. It's an excellent film. If you haven't seen Scarface, you have to watch Scarface. It is an excellent mob film, excellent gangster film. Al Pacino is a king at that, man. Like, he's one of the few guys who can just do excellent work. Like Robert De Niro, Ray Liotta, and Joe Pesci. They're just excellent actors in those types of films. Again, guys, for tuning in. I hope you enjoy this review. I'm sorry I couldn't do 50 Shades. Follow me through with coming week's videos that I will be doing. I will be sure to release it then, because I want to try and get it in February, while it's kind of like the nominated Valentine month. Anyway, thank you again, guys, for tuning in. I hope to see you soon. Bye, guys.